What's up, everybody? It is not Tuesday night, but it's the Console Corner after Microsoft E3 event breakdown. I was like pretty jaw-dropping most of the time. I had a really good time. I thought it was a really good show. I want to go ahead and introduce our cast of crazy gamers here, and then just go down the list of what Microsoft showed and what it means and all that kind of good stuff. What's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you so much for joining us. You guys rock. So go ahead and start with the first lady of Xbox, SheWulf.
Well, are we introduction or talking about the show?
Introductions.
Hey guys, I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are like as thrilled about the like E3 conference as like a lot of us. That price though. Yeah.
We'll
I think that's probably the only down thing.
Really?
It's all right though. Next up, Lady Fox Firex.
Hey, what's up? I'm over here. I was trying to eat something real quick, but I got my drink and I'm ready to talk.
Oh, I got my drink too.
I think everybody's got a drink.
Yeah. Next up, Mr. Newf and Nukem.
Hey people, welcome back and thanks for joining us. Yes, E3 for Microsoft now in the books, and I think personally it was one heck of a show, but we're going to talk about that more in detail over the next little while. I'll give you my 2 cents worth on it and maybe at least what you might consider nonsense worth of the show. So it's all good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us in the chat. We love you guys.
Absolutely.
Awesome supporters. Again, thanks for that. And yeah, back to you, GKB.
Sweet. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Magic Mike.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you all enjoyed the Microsoft E3 conference. I certainly walked away with a lot of smiles from the show. Maybe a couple of disappointments, maybe a couple of things I built up in my mind that didn't happen that I wish it happened.
Right.
But overall, I mean, I was impressed with it. I thought it was a good show. A lot of surprises. I didn't know. I wasn't anticipating that many surprises. So that really, like, it stole it for me. Was all the surprises that we got out of it. I think that was great.
Absolutely. I much like you, we had a ton of surprises, which is awesome. Nothing really got leaked for Microsoft's conference, which is another really fantastic thing.
Rare moment.
Yeah, very rare. I mean, like their whole show almost got leaked last year. So, but all right, let's go ahead and get into it. I thought, for the most part, they showed, like what Phil said when he came out, a variety of games for a bunch of different gamers out there, and he totally delivered on that. Absolutely. They had shooters, racers, RPGs, looks like some kind of MMO type Destiny kind of game with Anthem, indies, all kinds of stuff. So
they had platformers, they had jumpers, they had
jumpers.
Indies, they had.
When you say that, I'm like thinking of like that outfit thing for.
Okay, well, I'm referring to like puzzle platformers. They had like, they had shooters. They had like. It was crazy. He came out and he said this was going to go to every gamer and not just one in particular, and they did that. They had a game for everything. However, there was quite a few that didn't have release dates of this year, so that kind of sucked. But
yeah, that was a bummer for me too as well. Thank you so much for the 90 plus people watching us right now. You guys are fantastic. Again, thank you.
We love you all.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and dive into these things, and I think let's just kick it off because Microsoft showed a little teaser thing, and then they got right into the Scorpio. So I think that's what we'll do too. Is we'll get right down to the nitty gritty with the Scorpio, and then get into the whole bunch of games.
Oh,
that's the 1X. The 1X.
Oh yeah, the one. That's gonna be just like Mixer. I'm never gonna say this right for a while. So the Xbox One X.
Stupid name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna straight up say it. Like now.
All right, let's talk with the name. Let's go ahead.
Now it's going to be Xbone X. Or it's going to be like...
I liked your analogy. It was like triple X or something like that.
Yeah, now it's going to be like
or
triple
double
X. It's triple X because it's like X box with an X and then X. But, like, why? Like...
I think they should have kept with Scorpio. The media already has the Scorpio. They seem to have liked it and talked about it and all that kind of stuff. But what are you guys' opinions? What do you think about the name? Do you like the X or do you like the Scorpio?
I like the X. Well, I mean, how much of a trip was it when we saw all the leaks of the that trademark for the S that they put out there, and that was just for the Xbox One S that we got last year? Because I noticed they had that S logo with the break in between. They had that next to the Xbox One S now. So that I almost feel like that was leaked just to throw us off.
Exactly, right? And even like with the date and everything, with everybody went after like those codes and all that kind of stuff, and none of that really came out to be true. So the price wasn't $400, and it did come out in October.
Oh, bitches! I told everybody because
Dang,
I was the only one, and everyone's like, "Oh no! That's the only reason that picture would come up." Hello, guess what? You were all wrong. I said it. I said, I bet you anything. You wrote that code in, and it was a coincidence. And guess what? It was just a coincidence.
Fair enough. I will take the L on that.
Yeah,
for sure.
you better. You better, because I'm sorry, but everybody ragged on me on Xbox Nation about how I said, oh, it could just be a coincidence because it's a magazine cover from 1980 or something.
What about you, Newf?
You know, guys, the name itself I don't think it's terrible by any means to me, because obviously we kind of knew before they alluded to the fact that they wanted to keep it within the Xbox One sort of family, the brand name, so they weren't alienating their fans or trying to confuse consumers too much, because we've kind of gotten used to calling the Xbox One like the S now, you know what I mean? So, obviously you just assume that X is going to be better than S and that sort of thing. So I kind of get where they're going. I'm not saying I'm crazy about the name, but I don't think it's necessarily terrible, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking Xbox One Ultra kind of made more sense considering the Ultra Blu-ray 4K stuff, but hey man, like they wanted to go with that, so that's at the end of the day, nobody really gives a shit what it's called as long as it plays heck of a great, lots of great games and that sort of stuff. And speaking of games, we got plenty of them. I know we'll get into that in a bit. We're
gonna talk about
I know I'll let you go to it. I don't know if you want to talk about the look of the console itself, but I'll let you kind of kick that off.
Go ahead, man. If you want to go ahead. Go ahead.
Hold on. I have a question. So does that mean the next Xbox is going to be comes out? Yeah, I was going to say, is it going to be like Xbox One Z?
Nah, I think they'll drop the Xbox One name after this one.
It'll be the Xbox 2A.
So.
Yeah.
No, it'll be a different Xbox.
Yeah.
Hopefully it leaves that numbers out of it.
Yeah, I think they'll just drop all that. Good.
I like the name, actually. I don't hate it, so now it's growing on me since we heard it in the beginning of the show. Obviously Scorpio is better, so yes, we know this. Everybody likes it. We have shirts out there that have it all over, and the little symbol. They represent the little symbol and everything. But the name is growing on me now, especially the fact that each initial stands for Xbox, so I could just call it an Xbox because of each initial. So I'm okay with it.
I agree.
Yeah, I like it. I like it now.
And if you guys recall, too, the last conference that Phil actually did, he had a shirt on that had X on it, and that was kind of a little hint, perhaps, at the time to the actual console name, because it just had X on his shirt. So,
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I've said this on other podcasts. Like, I think the name is going to be, a problem for anybody. I don't think they could come out with any kind of name and everybody would be happy about it. So, you either love it, you hate it. It's whatever. It's officially the Xbox One X now going forward. No more Scorpio. I think it was kind of, I guess, ludicrous to believe that they were going to keep the code name Scorpio anyway. They've never done it for any other console, so why would they do it for this one? But I don't know. Scorpio grew on me, I guess. It was just so used to calling it Scorpio for the longest time.
We're gonna say it from time to time, just like you said with the whole Beam and Mixer thing. We're gonna keep saying Scorpio and then going, oh wait, because that's what we're used to and it sounds cool. But I mean, this new name is growing on me, so I'm digging it, and I like the way it looks as well. If you want to jump into that.
Yeah, let's go right into it. I thought, it looked almost just like the Xbox One, just no top vent, which I thought was cool because I thought initially when I saw that front panel, I was like, oh man, they could do some really custom cool stuff like, the stickers and whatever else they want to do for custom consoles. I thought that was really smart to get rid of the vents and put them on the side. And it leads into the, the vapor chamber cooling where it's going to be pulling and shooting out the other side anyway. I thought the console looked fantastic. I like the matte black look. They pretty much listened to us for the most part with everything. I was looking forward to it. What do you guys think?
Well, did you notice that they got the disk drive like right on the seam of where the two layers
lowered
kind of
it.
stack together? So it really makes it almost look like there's not a disk drive there, but there is. It's so seamless that it's not going to draw any attention to that fact that there's going to be a disk drive in the middle of it like we have with the 1S.
Absolutely. They said it's going to be smaller. I don't know how much smaller. I mean, I guess a half an inch is a half an inch. It's technically smaller.
Well, they showed the controller on top of it, so that kind of gives you a little bit of
a reference point.
Of an idea of like it wasn't too much farther on each side of the controller, and we all know how big the controller is, so kind of gives
big
you
shout out to
some
125
idea.
watching us right now. You guys fucking rock.
You guys are amazing.
Thanks for hanging out.
What about you, Newf?
Yeah, I
know
like
you
the way it
want-
looks. It looks nice. It looks like very simple and clean. And usually I don't go for that style, but it feels like it fits well
that's
with
my
this
style
model.
all the way. My
Yeah, I know you are like that. And I have certain moments where I'm like, yeah, I like that for certain things, but it goes well with that. It looks very
I
nice.
love the look personally, and because again, they stuck with the mantra: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because the Xbox One S was one of the sleekest looking consoles I think any company besides Microsoft has ever put out. And if you decide to keep your One S by any means, and you have both of these side to side, they're going to complement each other very well. Especially if you have the white Xbox One S, and then you go with the black Xbox One X. That's going to be a little bit trippy saying that back to back, that sort of thing. And another thing, they went with the matte black, and I'm so happy. No two shades, no glossy side, no friggin' matte side.
I know, right?
Because I hate glossy shit. It drives
Same
me
here.
nuts.
Same here.
And I don't need glossy consoles to look shinier than my ball sack after a shave.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We were all about the balls in the last show and in this show too, guys.
But no, I think it looks fantastic. Like Foxy said, it is clean, it is sleek. I can't believe it's even smaller than the Xbox One S. That blows my mind.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
it is fantastic. It's no, they did the right thing there, and and there's a lot of stuff that we don't really know about the Xbox One X either, and we'll probably talk about that in a moment.
Yeah.
Well, and I think most of the size from the original Xbox One and the S was from the cooling fans and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
With that vapor cooling chamber, they can reduce the size drastically and still get
Hell
better
yeah.
efficiency out of the system. So,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, that totally makes sense. And that more advanced cooling system with everything that the system's going to be outputting for us. Like I know everybody was looking forward to that $399 price point,
Mhm.
but with everything that we're getting in the box and everything that's going to do what they showed us here at this conference with the games, $499. That's not a price point that I'm going to balk at. I paid that for the day one Xbox One.
Yeah.
So I don't have any problem with that. I've seen a lot of people kind of complaining about the price, and
Yeah. I mean,
to me, I'm all right with it.
to me, to me as a tech guy and seeing what the features, you're absolutely right, Mike. Like, I think that's a fair price point for this. I just look at it from the perspective, and I'm sure like Newf and other people will chime in as well, is for Microsoft to get back into and get their install base up. The games and everything they showed was fantastic in the right direction, but now, like we were saying before, if they came out with this price point, I gotta say it, man. Like, I think it's a miss with the media, the casual market, and all that kind of stuff, and I don't think it's gonna get them where they need to go.
But
as far as
this
the
is
install
where
base.
this is where I come in and say, Phil Spencer said right at the start that this console was
I
made
agree
for
with
the
you.
hardcore gamers.
I agree with you.
The S is for the casual gamers, and he stuck to that. You are getting
That's fair.
what you're paying for, people. So in reality, he didn't come out and say, "Oh, this console is for everyone, so this price point has to be for everyone." We all assumed it. Well, I didn't assume it. I kept saying that it was going to end up being high, but
That's just it. You know what? Last year when they announced Scorpio, I don't think there's any one of us on this panel that was even expecting it to be, $399. Okay,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? I think we all had a target in our head that was closer to the $500 mark, regardless.
you're
And it
probably
wasn't
right.
until somebody in the media or somebody somewhere started going, "Hey, it should be $399," and all of a sudden we're going, "Yeah!" And like I said, it's not that $499 is a terrible price by any means for the tech. I think the problem is we all sort of anticipated and wanted that mic drop moment where he
Right,
goes,
right.
"It's $399," and then all of a sudden you got a system that, because becomes a no-brainer purchase instead of a maybe I have to take a wait and see.
And then
right?
you also with the wait and see too is Sony is going to be like, hey, our 4K console, even though it doesn't technically do everything in 4K, like the Scorpio is probably going to do, they're going to be dropping their price. And I think that's where I have the issue with is, like, if a casual person or somebody's looking to get into either the Xbox or the PlayStation ecosystem, if they look at $500 for 4K or they look at $349 for 4K, I mean, console market prices, man, it's all about the price at the end of the day. And
well, but if Microsoft markets it correctly, they can market the Xbox One S as a 4K gaming machine, because the Xbox One S will upscale to 4K, just the same way that the PS4 Pro does. Now, granted, the PS4 Pro has a better native resolution at 1440 or 1800p that upscales to 4K, but both the Xbox One S and the PS4 Pro output at 4K resolution.
Correct.
And the Xbox One S is going to be a $50 price difference from the PS4 Pro. So if you're looking for a system that's going to output 4K,
and I think that's where Microsoft's looking.
I agree. The 4K Blu-ray player.
I agree, and I think that's where Microsoft's thinking too. Like, hey, here's the Xbox One S kind of for you for that price point. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you.
You also have to look at the fact. So when the Xbox One released with the Kinect, it was $499. Mm-hmm. We paid it. We paid with the full game.
Absolutely.
Now, I do hope that they do put it with a game and not just where it's going to launch just the system, like
either that or Game Pass or something else. Like,
have something with it just to benefit a little bit. But at the same time, everyone was willing to pay that price when the Kinect first released, and how shitty was that thing afterwards? Well, I'm not gonna say shitty. I'm sure a lot of people did use it. Heck, we've used it at times, but a lot of people said it was crappy and it was useless. But this system is not the Kinect. It's literally everything that the Xbox One wasn't and should have been. So really paying $499, once again, is everyone surprised?
I mean, I want it to be $399.
But we wanted, hold on. Everyone wanted it to be $399 just to compete to the Pro. That's all it was. They only wanted this price point because against Sony. But in all business aspects of it, it made sense to come out at $499.
I still think, though, at $399, they could release this console and still make money. I
In the long run, they could with the software sales. But, everybody wants something to be $100 less. I want my car payment to be $100 less.
Yeah,
but then I
How
wouldn't
many
have as good of a
terabytes
car.
does it have?
That's what I was just going to say. Do we even know?
No, they didn't say.
Like, what if
So
this
it
is
might
only
have
the
a lot
terabyte, like the 2 terabyte?
It might and it might not, though. What if it comes out with 1 terabyte?
True.
Like, what if it's only 1 terabyte?
Yeah.
But what if this is the 2 terabyte that comes out and then they release a 1 terabyte like next year, like the beginning of next year for the $399 price?
Yeah.
When they see that it's not selling the way that they wanted it to.
Based on the market now, I would have just given people a console with the lowest fucking ass hard drive you could to save some bucks, because most people have an external or can buy one for dirt cheap. So that would have been my thought: is take out what you don't necessarily need, just give people enough to run shit, maybe put 1 or 2 games on, and away you go.
Yeah.
That makes
I
sense.
think a lot of people in the chat were like, they're saying the $399 was the dream price. You're probably right. I think we didn't keep our expectations in check. And I'm the one that says that all the time. Like, keep your expectations in check.
Yeah,
and
GJB.
I didn't follow my own advice on that one, and I agree.
Bro,
but I still came.
I was like,
go ahead, Fox.
as soon as they said, as soon as like we talked about prices before, like months ago, I was like, I'm gonna stay with 500. And if it is cheaper, that's nice. That's even better because I'll get it sooner. But I always stayed up there in 500 because as soon as he said it, as soon as he said it, I was like, okay, cool. I'm not even surprised. I'm happy with this because I didn't want any higher, so I'm okay with it.
Fair enough. Yeah. I just think I'm coming from the perspective. Yeah, like where me and Newf kind of like go into is like, just to get them back into the race, into the fight.
No, I agree. It would have been nice if it was lower.
Yeah.
But they're not looking at that.
Like what Newf said before the show, he was like, I don't think Microsoft wants to go in this and just win an NPD or two. I think they really want to get back into the game. And I agree with you. And I think that's where the price point like really hit home for me. Not that I'm going to go buy fucking 2 of them anyway, like at $4.99. Like, I don't care. But, but just
we'll
go
buy
ahead,
one
Newf,
and the other one will wait. But
well, see, but like when you say that, like, the $399 price point would have been great for Microsoft to get back into the game. Like when people say that, you don't really believe that Microsoft is losing in this game. Like, yeah, we may not have the NPD numbers, but look at all the deals Microsoft has made over the past couple of years, with Havoc and Simply Gone and all that kind of stuff. Microsoft is making money whether they sell you an Xbox or not. If you're buying games, even on other systems and platforms, if you're buying Minecraft, I mean, hell, Microsoft is winning when it comes to gaming. It's just not the way that we see it. The people that, read the IGN articles, that are on NeoGAF, that are on N4G and stuff like that, that's going to be a different type of environment. But Microsoft is looking at the bigger picture. They're playing like a game of video game chess that we can't see. And I think that Microsoft's going to be around for a long time, whether this Xbox One X succeeds, whether it wins NPDs or not. Microsoft is still heavily invested in the gaming ecosystem.
Absolutely.
Well, see, that's kind of where my whole thing comes in. Like, we all think that they're losing so badly to like the other consoles, but really, they don't count like obviously all of the Game Pass, like anything like that. They don't count like all of the other EA access because they get parts of that. They don't count like backward. Like, there's so much that I'm sure that is not actually put into these like sales or software. These numbers that that people aren't actually announcing, that we don't actually know the real numbers between these systems. And like, everyone just comes out and says, oh, well, this console is selling this much and this one's selling this much. Well, okay, that's fine, but are they just being shipped to warehouses, or are they actually being put in people's homes? We don't know that either. Yeah. So this whole big just money-wise thing.
At the end of the day, it's console warrior nonsense, whether, who's winning or losing. I totally get that. But for me, as being an Xbox fan, I want to get them more into the fight. Like,
yeah, I understand.
My heart knows they're already winning. So
go ahead, Newf. Or whoever.
Here's the other side. This is where it gets a little bit messy for Microsoft, okay? Sony has pretty much all the major marketing deals. I mean, the games that can almost instantly sell themselves. People are going to walk in, and we know that a lot of the game stores that sell the consoles, first off, a lot of GameStop employees are fucking openly biased towards PlayStation. So if they drop their price tomorrow, and I still think that they will, to bring the Pro down to $349, you got a $349 potentially, whether you want to call it the faux K or the real K, you've got their 4K machine going against Microsoft's, and all of a sudden you got a $349 versus a $499, and all of the big marketing deals say Star Wars on PlayStation, say fucking Call of Duty on PlayStation. I mean, Microsoft showed 1,000,001 great games in there, but there's not a whole lot of name games outside of Assassin's Creed that people can instantly recognize. So there comes a lot of problems in so many different ways. Like I said, maybe Microsoft really doesn't give a shit. Maybe they just don't want to suck up a big loss on selling the Xbox One S, because I'd love to know at the end of the day, and I'm sure someone will break it down, what their component cost is and how much per unit they're actually making.
I think at $499, they're probably making a decent amount of money on that console. I would say, but
so that is and will it drop? Yeah, there's a good potential it drops. Sure. Maybe they judge the first batch of sales and then go, okay, this is not taking off like we thought, and then boom, we get an instant price drop. That is a possibility. So I wouldn't freak out too much because it's likely. Yeah. But I hope, like SheWulf said, maybe at least at $4.99, guys, pack in a decent game, pack in a showcase title, something that will look good with the upgrades or something. And I got a feeling it's probably going to be a 1 terabyte hard drive. So like I said, it could get a little bit messy, but Microsoft will probably just wait and feel, because everybody knows at $4.99, guys, the value is still there. There's not a single person on this panel that's going, oh, this Xbox One S is a no-show, right? And I think most Xbox fans, people that understand the gaming business that we're in, will also say the same. So, it's kind of a win-win. It just wasn't kind of that mic drop moment we were hoping for. And again, that GKB, you said it. We were just kind of hoping for it, not necessarily expecting it.
And Newf, you brought up a great point when you were going through like all the stuff there. You said that Microsoft showed us a lot of games here at this conference. Not a lot of named games, but they showed us a lot of stuff that we didn't know was coming. And I think that is going to help capture a lot of, market mind share when you see like all these games coming to the Microsoft platform. Even the games that are going to be at the Sony stage. We already from what Microsoft has shown us today, we know these games are going to play better on the Xbox One X.
Absolutely.
And
hands down.
That is going to, regardless of the price, you're not going to be able to build a PC that's going to play games the same way the Xbox One X is going to play
or have any
games.
of the features.
Does Ubisoft have a show? Because like I said, we didn't see Splinter Cell up on Xbox stage, and we don't know if it is coming up, but we didn't see Splinter Cell, which would have been huge on the Xbox stage. Though.
But not if nobody has the marketing rights. It'll stay.
Yeah,
on
it's like one of those
Ubisoft.
weird things, like with EA. Like I think that EA with Anthem was a last-minute switch, and that's why Phil came out and was like, "Hey guys, we're going to extend it a little bit because I think they got EA to let them show it on their stage." But if Splinter Cell is a thing, I think it's probably going to be on Ubisoft stage for them.
Well, and you know what else we didn't see? They said 343 was going to be there with something that wasn't
yeah,
Halo.
yeah.
And we didn't see them there, so I think they did have to cut people out of the show because
Probably,
they had so much to show us.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end though, it was only literally like another 10 minutes with her Anthem. Though I thought it was going to go at least another 30 minutes. The way they were talking with all these games, so I don't know why they didn't show the Halo stuff. But anyway, let's
I
go
was
on.
pretty hungry, so I'm glad they didn't. But
Yeah, I know. If Fox was yelling at me after the show, I'm not gonna say why, but she was yelling. Let's go ahead and move on.
Kudos, guys, to Microsoft for cutting the price on the Xbox One S. That is phenomenal now. Like,
They want to sell the shit out
now,
of
if you've been riding the fence before, you have no excuse, because if you've seen that fantastic article that someone did the other day, I wish I had a link for it, about buying they did a comparison of the Blu-ray players in the Xbox One S to like dedicated Blu-ray players from Sony and Samsung, and they said for the money you cannot beat the Xbox One S Blu-ray player, that it was as
for how cheap it
good
is.
quality-wise as anything the competitors have. The only difference was it has slower like startup times and stuff, because obviously Microsoft has a dashboard that does a hell of a lot more than just a set-top 4K Blu-ray.
Well, if
Yeah.
you're getting into that though, you have to also look at the fact that it has a 4K could have 4K capture and streaming. So
Yeah.
that alone, like those things are really expensive right
Yep,
now
absolutely.
to buy like a standard capture card for 4K.
And maybe that's part of the like, you know, why they couldn't like lower it anymore is because of that other features that they're throwing in there. Big shout out to everybody watching us, 155 plus. Big shout out to Crap, Luca, Black Tiger, UK, Sonic, Shogun, Cool Fusion, all you guys. Sorry if I missed you guys. I'll try and get you on the rest of the show. What's up, Chase? But let's go ahead and move on to the 4K updates. They showed 30 plus, and then some of their first parties that like day one are going to be in there. We saw Witcher 3. Scrolled through. What do you guys think of that? Is it? I guess is the updates, like for me, I'm like, I played a lot of these games. I don't know if I'm actually going to go back and see the 4K
I won't
updates.
go back and play them on 4K unless I haven't beat them. I'm not going back to play them on 4K. There's way too much stuff coming out that, like, regardless whether it's third party or whether it's first party, there's way too much stuff coming out to like get caught back up on going on back to a game I've already beat.
But I think it's important that they do have a lot of support for the 4K updates for everybody that does get Xbox One X
Well,
day one.
also,
so.
like, I'm sure there's a lot of these games that people haven't played either, so it's going to
Exactly.
benefit all of them who haven't
True.
played this.
If they
game.
haven't played it, then they can play it in their 4K. on
Especially
their
if
Scorpio.
this is going to be their first Xbox this generation. Oh my god, it's going to be beautiful. I would play Gears of War again on there just because that's one of my favorite games. And for other people, they love Witcher. And then some other people haven't finished Witcher, so I'm pretty sure that
I
it's
haven't
gonna,
finished Witcher.
it's
I
gonna
don't
be
think
showcased
anybody
a
in
lot.
this world has finished Witcher.
Well, I think Luca finished it twice. That's what I heard. I don't know.
there's at least one person out there that's finished it. But what I gotta say is a lot of the games that I wanted to see these 4K updates, or at least the Xbox One X Scorpio effect update, they were shown in that list of games coming out. So we had Resident Evil 7. I really wanted to see that get an
Yes.
update. Witcher 3, I was really excited to see that in there. Skyrim, huge Skyrim fan.
Absolutely.
In case anybody was wondering, there you go.
Rocket
so yeah,
League. Anyone excited for a 4K Rocket League?
A lot of Rocket League players out
No,
there
I
would be
know.
happy for that. But yeah, there's a lot of games. I thought it was really cool. I think that's important to have that and show people that, hey, you know, not just the new games, but a lot of your favorite games from
Exactly.
before are going to have 4K updates.
I think that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Forza Horizon 3, I can't wait to play that on Hot Wheels in 4K.
Oh, it's so good, bro. I played on the PC in 4K,
Yeah.
but so let's go ahead and move on to OG Xbox games back compat. I really didn't think this was going to be a thing. I really, really did not. And they said my favorite game, Crimson Skies. I was like, holy shit.
I'm just wondering
go ahead,
if
Fox.
this is a waste.
Well, I'm surprised they actually came back because, okay, after the whole 360 back compat, like they kind of was like, oh, we wish, we'll see, you know, I don't know, and then they kind of like it died down. Everybody stopped talking about it, so I was like, there's no way it's happening.
Yeah.
And so that was a nice surprise for everybody that loves the OG Xbox and still has their physical games and whatnot. I'm pretty sure they're gonna add them digitally in the store somehow
Yeah, they
too.
would
That would
have
be
to.
cool.
Well, does,
And he said they're gonna look even better. That's awesome.
Another interesting thing.
does anybody remember that the 360 had some OG Xbox
Yep.
backwards compatibility built into it? I was
Yep.
always surprised that when they added the Xbox 360 back compat, that those games from the OG Xbox that were back compat on the 360 didn't just automatically get thrown into backwards compatibility. So I'm hoping a lot of the OG Xbox games that I held on to with my 360 that I played on there end up making it into this list of back compat games on the Xbox One that were OG Xbox games, because I'd love to play some of those again. Like Spider-Man 2 is probably one of the best Spider-Man games that was ever made, and I played that on the 360 and the OG Xbox.
Yep.
Hopefully I'll get to keep playing it again, because I haven't played it in years.
I'm gonna
That's right, man. Conquer Live and Reloaded, Mech Assault,
see
friggin'
Buffy.
the Battlefront games,
Give
Knights
me
of the Old
Buffy. I'll
Republic.
play that.
Hell yeah, girl!
I
got it.
no, I want
I'm ready.
Blinks. Give me
I'm-
Blinks. I love that game.
I'm gonna be
Oh,
devil's
that's
advocate
exactly.
here, and I think we're gonna see some digital pay for OG Xbox games.
Do you think
I'm gonna
so?
go out a limb here and say that for sure.
Think so?
Well, I mean, like, think about it. OG Xbox has been out for years and years and years now. A lot of people don't have those discs. You can't find them in
No,
GameStop
that's true.
anymore.
That's
Like,
true.
Yeah.
how else would you get them but digitally? And
You would
I
have to pay for them.
don't
Yeah.
think they're gonna give them away for free.
No.
They'll probably be super cheap, to be fair.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Probably like
I'm not surprised.
it'll probably be like the $5 bundle, or you know what they could do? Stick it in the Game Pass
I was
Game
just
Pass,
thinking that.
yeah, good call.
Oh.
instead
Good
of
call.
putting
Nice.
them into.
That makes sense.
You know,
Absolutely makes sense.
It won't
Pay
bother
them
me that
into-
much because I probably won't buy a whole lot of them. Like maybe like a
Yeah, same
handful of
here.
the games I really like the best. Because at the end of the day, man, backlog growing again.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right? Too.
very true,
Absolutely,
very true.
absolutely.
That was the only reason I say that it just seemed like a little bit of a waste, because like everyone keeps wanting new games and then they're doing exactly what everyone said don't do.
True, but then there's sometimes where people are just like nostalgia and they
Nostalgia
just
hell
want
of
to
a
go
drug.
back. Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
know,
But, I mean,
but
it's
like
not
how
like-
many people really have been playing like these hardcore like back compat games? I know- I'm not-
50%
I'm
of the
not
player
saying-
base.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying like there
exactly.
isn't
I
a
was gonna
lot
say
of
that.
them, but I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Half of the Xbox.
At some point in time, has
It's
played
just-
back and pack games.
okay,
Yeah.
how many people who actually complained about it actually is playing? Like, it's just, couldn't they have taken that money and
Look,
spent it
I think
just
the
a
numbers that they said for
little-
50%, I think is a little skewed, because if somebody just put in a back and pack game, played it one time, they're part of that statistic.
Yeah.
Let's be honest and be fair about it. But still, I think it's a big deal. I
It's
really didn't think
cool. I
OG
think
Xbox
it's-
games would be a thing.
Like, it's a neat idea, especially again, like I always go back to the whole, new generations coming up, that gives them more variety, more options.
Here's
That
the
is
thing,
great
though.
thing.
I would actually buy some of those games if they add Chivos.
Yeah, that's the other question.
Ooh.
Are they adding Chivos?
If they add
and,
That would be
Chivos-
nice.
And they're like, say, $5, I would definitely buy them.
and what,
That would
like,
Maybe on
very
some of the
nice.
first party ones, but I
Yeah.
don't think you're going to see that on any third
do you know
party
how
OG
many
Xbox
people,
game.
though?
That's fair, yeah.
Do you know how many
probably.
people are going to be like, oh my god, that looks like crap? Like,
Well, I mean,
You
you got to
get
take
four-
that. If
you
you're
get
asking for
4K.
OG, and then you're like,
Yeah.
and you put it in, you're like, oh, this game looks like crap. Well, what
I'm
the hell
just
did you
saying-
think it looked like?
well,
Don't
that's
play
my
it
point.
then.
But that's my
Don't play
point. But this is
Yeah.
my point, though.
I don't see people doing that with Nintendo when they play Super Mario 3 going, oh, that looks like
Okay,
a piece of
Ah,
shit.
that's fair.
Nintendo shit's
Nintendo shit's
gold,
just timeless.
okay?
I don't know why.
So like Nintendo shits out gold. They can't do no wrong.
I know,
so.
they're crazy.
Yeah, but that
You can't
NES
even
Classic, I
compare.
mean, that sold out. So
It sure
Exactly.
did. Sure
But
did.
I
that's
have that.
But again, it seems like Nintendo just has that thing where they can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nintendo
known
has the
for
golden
it.
thumb,
Yeah.
or maybe it's the gold middle finger, because I feel like they give me the finger every time they discontinue a piece of hardware that I haven't bought yet.
I think it's just Mario. I think it just has that big of a fan base that it does.
So let's get back to Xbox, guys.
that. Anyways, yeah.
Everybody, we're gonna put everybody to sleep talking about Nintendo. Let's go ahead and get into the games. I want to be upfront and fair. I think it was also a misstep to push everything to 2018 or not give us dates. If Phil Spencer is on his word and says, I want to show things that are within the next year, I think he knows when these games are coming out, and we should have got launch dates. That's my personal critique with that. We call out Sony for that, and I will call out Microsoft for doing the same thing.
Now,
Yeah.
a lot of those titles did say, Xbox launch or Xbox console launch. Now, does that mean they're all going to launch
I don't know what that
around the time? Or does that mean... Because I think it was Mike made a good point. Their launch date could be from, say November to February. Like, what is your
Yeah,
official
I don't know.
launch date that?
It was very cryptic and not fair to the gamers.
I mean,
Go ahead.
look at the original Xbox One when they had E3 for that. Titanfall was one of the launch exclusives, and that game came out in March. So that launch window, I mean, there's a lot of wiggle room for that like launch exclusive game. You know, I think they could come out early next year or very late this year.
Well, that's my point. Like Nintendo's a really good one for this one. Well, no, it's no. I just
go
want to
ahead.
point.
I'm just fucking with you.
I just want to say this one point. Like when they released the Switch, they said, "Oh, these are all of our launch games," but we're not getting some of those games until like the end of August. But that's their launch titles.
Yeah, so it's a launch window of some sort. Like I don't know what that means. Like before, after, next year. I don't know.
Yeah,
like what is their time frame for that? 3
exactly.
months?
So when,
plus or minus?
When do we? But there was no official dates on any of those games. So, or at least the ones that said launch. People, I don't mean all of them.
So what do you think? Maybe this came down to a point of Phil would rather take more heat overall for not having launch dates than posting a bunch of launch dates that never hit their target. Because I bet you he went into every one of these guys and said, "What would be your estimated time?" You know, and like I said,
fair.
Estimates, but how many games in the last 3 years have we seen missed dates? Like nearly the percentage must be now like what 80% of every game that has a launch date seems to miss it. Like so, perhaps he's just like, I'd love to give you those dates, but realistically, like unless you're a first party studio where you have a little bit more of a grasp on what's happening on a day-to-day basis, like he doesn't know what the fuck the rest of these guys are going to really put out. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure at this point, one thing Phil doesn't want to happen anymore is the scale bound scenarios. So I kind of understand.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. You could be like, it sucks and you got to call him out for it. But I also am looking at the other side of, again, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So it's just a matter of which side you kind of play.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to answer Cool Fusion's question. He's like, "Will external hard drives be slower loading?" It depends on the hard drive speed and what you're using. If you use like an SSD, it's probably going to be pretty fast. I think what they were talking about in the specs and stuff that the Scorpio's hard drive is a bit speeder, probably like the 7200 RPM ones. So if you're like within that range with your external or an SSD, you're going to be fine. If you're going to be a little slower, you're probably going to load a little slower.
Well, and then didn't Mikey Barr also say when he announced that they basically unlocked that 9th gigabyte of RAM for gaming use? Somebody asked him like, what's going to happen for games that don't use all of the RAM available? And he said that extra RAM is going to be used as a memory cache. So even on a 5400 RPM external hard drive, you could have your game preloading stuff into that RAM that isn't in use for the game
to help speed up everything. Yep.
Yeah, and that'll help give you that faster loading. So I think it all depends on the game and how the developers approach it.
Correct. Yep. Absolutely. Mike's on point. So yeah, I just like I said, I just wanted to say that stuff about the the launch rate. I want to be fair and consistent across all the platforms I talk about, but
no, I agree. That's one of the main things I've said I wanted was release dates, and yeah, we got some, but I was hoping for more than that.
Yeah,
especially the fact that
like
State of Decay 2 is coming out next year, and we were all expecting that this year.
Like,
that was kind of weird. That threw me off a little bit. And then obviously we knew Sea of Thieves was going to get delayed as well, so that happened.
Correct.
They told us freaking State of Decay was coming out this year. Last year.
Yeah.
I'm all right with a couple of games getting pushed into next year though, because what happened last year? We got a ton of first party games that were great.
No, you're right. Yeah.
And they all came out when all these other major third party AAA games were coming out, and they kind of got overshadowed by that.
But we can't bitch at Sony for not doing it if Microsoft is doing it. Like,
well, that's valid. But I think that Microsoft is seeing the success that Sony's had from it. Yeah, we've complained about it. And I would still complain, like, if you say a game's coming out in fall and then it gets pushed back, but they aren't telling us these games are coming out in fall. Maybe in the past they said they were trying to get it out this year and it's being pushed into next year. And yeah, it's still something we can criticize them about if games do get delayed. But I think that they're trying to space out their first-party AAA titles and their exclusives so that they're not competing against these major third-party games.
Yeah, I think that's probably the majority of the issue with these big third parties coming out. They don't want them to get cannibalized. Like State of Decay, if it goes up against any of those titles, it's just going to not sell whatsoever.
I would love to see these games coming out this fall. The sooner the better. But I can understand why they're not.
No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
I do have to say, though, the one thing I thought was funny, this is the 1 year I noticed they didn't have one that came out and said, releasing holiday season. Not
Yeah.
one said holiday season.
Well, they said like console launched, but that's another weird thing that they said. But let's get into Forza Motorsport 7. This is my favorite Forza game of all time. Like I love Forza Horizon 3, but Motorsport's where it's at for me. Building a new simulator just to play this freaking game, and I can't wait. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I love that they showed female race car drivers playing the game and a female driver in the thing. I think that is really cool for Microsoft because I think they're one of the companies that really put females forward in gaming and all that stuff, and I think it's really important, especially because we have 2 female cast members on Console Corner, so I thought it was fantastic. What do you guys think?
That chick came walking out like she was the freaking queen of the road, and the guys were just following her. She was like, I got this shit. Don't worry. I got this. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And all the nerds, they blew their minds.
I'm sure that's what they blew. Anyways.
Yeah, well, Forza 7 is cut.
Really,
Yeah,
Joe? Really?
Man, Forza 7 is definitely a day one purchase for me. I mean, if you love racing games, this will be the pinnacle of racing games, this year, next year, for a long time to come. It's going to look fantastic, and I think it'll be definitely one of those games when you buy a brand new Xbox One S, it's going to look fantastic if you got a 4K TV, and it'll be one of those games you just got to have, to really sparkle and shine. And like you guys said, having the female drivers, the interiors look fantastic. Those the textures you could see on the rock cliffs and the desert and the whole 9 yards, like racing in Dubai and some of the places they have in this game, it's just going to be absolutely crazy. Like super excited for it. And what did you guys say? Like over 700 cars?
700 cars, man. And then the Porsche exclusive
Porsche.
that you're only going to have in Forza. I was like, what? That's crazy. And this is why I say Forza is the premier racer, because it is fantastic. It delivers a shit ton of content for your money. And they've listened to us, right? I think a lot of the critiques they got last year was, yeah, you had rain and stuff like that, but you didn't have night and day and all this other kind of stuff. Now they're like, well, screw you. We have dynamic fucking everything. So how you like that now? So that's super awesome to see. I like that they're pushing it forward. And I'm going to go out and say this right now. GT Sport, I'm sorry. Forza's just going to dominate this year.
You just got wrecked.
I'm sorry.
And that was just a trailer.
Yeah.
Forza 7 was so awesome that it crashed my computer and I had to reboot.
Oh my god.
Wow. Nice. All right.
To play anywhere, by the way.
Yes, and play anywhere. I think all the first parties we should be that, right, going forward. Let's get into the next game that was like an utter complete surprise and blew me away when I saw it. And that is the Metro game. I was like, wow, this looks really interesting. And then I saw the face mask, and I was just like, it's Metro. Holy shit, it's Metro. If anybody out there listen to us now, if you haven't played the Metro series, go get the Metro Redux so you can get the first 2 games. Play that because it's a fantastic game, and this one just looks like it's taking it to an obscene level. I was super hyped for it.
I haven't played Metros.
No? It's super good. You got to try them out. What did you guys think of Metro?
I tried the old games, but I got grossed out because of the bugs and the creepy crawlers and all that. But I mean, that trailer or that gameplay looks awesome. Yeah, it was gameplay actually. So yeah, it looked really goddamn good. And by the way, it is coming out in 2018.
Yep, 2018 sometime. Probably, I would say a fall game. If I was going to take a stab at it, I think. Yeah, go ahead, Newf.
That game looked incredible. I'm not going to lie. That was one of the a handful of videos that really blew my mind. Just like you can see the shadows, the textures, how amazing like the creature detail was on stuff. I mean, that giant bear mole thing that came up from the ground. I mean, holy mackerel! Like that, and then that train rolls on by and you jump on it. It's like that was a really cool teaser trailer. Hats off to that team. That game, wow! If that shapes up to look like that in the end, damn, sign me up.
Yeah, and they kept a lot of stuff from the first game too, where you lit the thing and you could burn through the spider webs and all that kind of stuff, which I thought was awesome. They still have the mask thing where you start to run out and it like gets all like cloudy and stuff. I was just like, yes.
I just love that there was no leaks about it.
Yes, no
leaks. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a complete surprise.
People guessed, like they were obviously like, I want a Metro, so hopefully there's a Metro. But there was never any confirmation that there was going to be a Metro.
Absolutely.
So I was happy, but I was really happy with a lot of the things that we saw that weren't actually leaked, that we were like, we had an idea as gamers, we thought possibly, But nobody actually knew for sure, and to see that it actually, we got to see some of this, I was like, damn.
Everybody's like, Metro looks sick. Yeah, guys, it was
Also,
awesome.
Everybody's talking on Twitter about the fact that they love the music, and yeah, SheWulf was right. It's from 28 Days Later, I believe she said.
28 weeks later.
28 weeks.
Yeah, she called it.
Yeah, that. Well, that was creepy music, but it works.
It totally worked.
JB's made me
it
watch that
really
movie
well
I don't know how many times.
Oh yeah, we watch zombie movies all the time. What about you, Mike?
Another thing, I don't know if it's a exclusive, like a temporary like one, or if it's a exclusive for sure. I don't know about that.
Yeah, we don't know if it's like timed or whatever. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah,
that's where that launch exclusive wording kind of gets confusing. Like, is it launch window? What's that window going to be? Is it a launch exclusive, meaning it's only exclusive during the launch window, and then 3 months later it's going to come out on all the other consoles?
Yeah.
As far as Metro though, I thought that game looked freaking phenomenal. I mean,
God.
It's clearly made with love by the developers.
Absolutely.
It pays so much homage to the first two games. It didn't look like they'd strayed from that path. Like, it's clearly a Metro game. They're not deviating from that. It looked beautiful. Like, I mean, just there was one point when the character went outside before the bear mole attacked, and like you could see the light coming through the trees. The leaves were like red, like it was fall or something like that. And just like I just remember seeing that moment, like just that lighting and everything. It looked beautiful, and it's going to be a showcase for the Xbox One X. I feel that's going to be a game that's going to blow a lot of people away. And if you haven't played the first two games, get the remaster. The remaster was phenomenal. The first two games were great, even on the 360. And I can't wait to get my hands on this game. I'm really excited for that, and it was a huge surprise.
Yeah, to Shogun, I believe it's probably multi-platform too. I don't think that's going to be a full exclusive, but they might have timed. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, it's definitely coming to PC. They never made any illusion that it's not coming to PC day and date as the Xbox. They said console exclusive, not exclusive, and they did use that launch exclusive. So it might be coming to PS4 and PS4 Pro within 3 to 6 months of it coming to the Xbox.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I think that's worth getting. I mean, well, let's say it's like 3 to 6 months like timed exclusivity. I think that's well worth it for that game and how it showed. Oh man, it was fantastic. So great conversation, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game they showed off, and that was Assassin's Creed. I'm gonna go out there and be like, this is probably day one for me. I've been waiting for this kind of Assassin's Creed. It looks like they took a lot of critiques, fixed a lot of stuff, and I'm probably gonna buy it day one. Absolutely. What do you guys think about the game?
I want it.
You want it?
I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. Like, it is an amazing, amazing, amazing looking console or game. Like, it really is. There's so much that they were doing, like, with the different, like, we saw Rome, we saw Egypt, like, just even the story seemed really cool. And when they had the gameplay and you got to play as the hawk and you actually got to, like, look around, stuff like that.
The Eagle Vision.
Yeah, Eagle Vision. There's going to be so much that's going to be really awesome when it comes to that game. And I think a lot of people who have been down about, Assassin's Creed, this might change them around. However, as much as I love Ubisoft games, I'm relying on you, Ubisoft, to please don't screw this up.
They had an extra year to work on this game.
Well, they had many years to work on their other games and still screwed them up.
Fair enough, but I still think this one, it was like probably one of the best looking Assassin's Creed I've seen in a long time. I'm excited for the premise of like, this is like the beginning of the Brotherhood and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be taking place in like Alexandria and all this kind of things, Cleopatra era and all this. Like, I'm like, yes, I'm in there because Egypt's like one of my favorite times. So, what about you guys? What you guys think?
I can't wait.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I mean, I've been waiting for Assassin's Creed since I finished Syndicate. Which Syndicate was a great Assassin's Creed game. Unity kind of hit or miss for me. But I love the Assassin's Creed series. I'm glad that they took this year off because it really made me want this next game even more. And the game looked phenomenal. I mean, there was nothing about the game that I saw and I was like, oh, I'm not too sure about that. Everything fit in with the Assassin's Creed franchise. And I'm excited to go back to this time period because honestly, it's one that I don't know too much about.
I agree.
Well, I got to say, like I said, the time period itself is very interesting because not a whole lot of video games out there that I can think of have really gone back that far, like gone back to those times. So there's a lot of potential in the series because of where it went. And part of it, what lost it for me for the Assassin's Creed games over the years is how, they kept going different places. Like I like the old Assassin's Creed, like the original game where it was just a lot of sword fighting and hand-to-hand combat. And the newer ones had like pistols and all that stuff, you know what I mean? But I mean, graphically, it looked impressive. Looks like the scope of the game is quite crazy. I think for sure if this game runs at like 60 frames on the Xbox One X, that will be significant because that's the kind of game that really could benefit from a very smooth frame rate and because the action's so fast paced and stuff. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's the first time in a long time I've actually been sort of excited a little bit about Assassin's Creed. Now, it's still not like way up on my radar with so many other great games coming out. I'm going to have to say this is probably not a day one buy for me, but I'm liking what I'm seeing overall. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, and hopefully it brings the franchise back to sort of the promised land where it kind of went, where it came from. Characters looks cool, and like I said, I love the settings, and so far so good.
Yeah, that like I think like pause with Ubisoft from a lot of gamers is because they kind of get a little let down, and I totally understand that point of view, Newf, like just holding back a little bit and wait until you see more of it. Like totally get that, man. That's a fair point for Ubisoft games going forward. Absolutely. Anybody else want to chime in for Assassin's Creed?
It looks beautiful. I agree with you guys, but I'm just not into Assassin. I rather have had Prince of Persia, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to seeing what Ubisoft has to show later on, but it does look good. It looks way better. I'm glad that they took a break because that trailer or that gameplay, awesome. I'm just not into Assassin, that's all.
Yeah,
but I'm happy that everybody that did see it really loved it. Luca was texting me about it as well. I think she was freaking out about that and Life is Strange a lot.
Life is Strange.
But yeah, I'm just happy that everyone else got to see Assassin finally.
Absolutely. Next game I want to move into, which I think is a really huge pickup from Microsoft because this thing is making waves on PC like nobody's business. It's probably the #1 streamed game right now, and that is PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Like I've tried this game. This game is fantastic. It's Hunger Games, like in present day. It's really super fun, and it's pretty simple to pick up and play this game. But it's just addicting. Yeah, it's like permadeath. Like once you die, it's done.
You gotta camp. You gotta camp it out.
Yeah.
Wait, so you gotta like roll an entirely new character every time you die in the game?
Well, no, you keep the same character, but like once you die,
you're out of that match.
You're out of that match. Yeah, I shouldn't say permadeath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just point something out to some people in the chat here? Like some people I see in the chat are kind of like complaining, like, "Hey, I can't pre-order the Xbox One X yet," and there's probably a damn good reason for that, and that's because Microsoft probably didn't send out their merchandise retail, shipment forms or whatever to retailers, because I'm pretty sure if they had done that like a couple of days in advance, we would have seen leaks all over the freaking place.
Yeah.
So give it a couple of days, guys, and guarantee you by the time the E3 wraps, you'll be able to pre-order. So just thought I'd put that out there.
They did that too early last year, so.
It's Sunday. Like a lot of business stuff gets sent out during the business work week.
That's true.
That's true.
Fair enough.
But at the same time, the S got leaked before.
Yeah.
It was all over the place. So before they even got to announce it on stage,
they had Xbox One X under wraps until today, like guys. So
yeah,
believe me, next week you'll be able to pre-order it, I'm sure. Absolutely.
Give it out that name.
Where were we at?
Battlegrounds. So yeah, it's amazing. Yep. Like I think it's gonna be awesome. It's pretty much like Call of Duty meets Hunger Games meets whatever form of, like it's
pretty much Call of Duty with Hunger Games.
It's like Survive. Like you have to live.
Third person.
You have to work with your team. That's probably one of the biggest things. You have to work with your team to defeat the other team, and then you have to survive. Like it's just overall, like I think it's just a really interesting game, and I think a lot of people on the Xbox or PlayStation.
This is definitely
isn't it only?
Well, this is one of those like gray area ones we don't know, but
it's a gray area, so it's a possible exclusive. But yeah, so I think it'll make it like really well on the Xbox. The question is price. I wonder what they're going to charge.
I think PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is absolutely a game for like the Xbox ecosystem and Xbox player for sure. They're going to eat this game up. Like I said, it's super huge on the PC. Anybody else want to chime in on PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds?
No, I'd probably move on. We got to jump through these.
Yeah. Go Go ahead, Fox.
No, I was just gonna say I've known about this game before I even knew it was coming to Xbox or rumored or anything. And yes, it is very interesting, and I kind of like the gameplay of it and everything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that more.
Absolutely.
It looks cool, but I don't know much about it, so I'll kind of leave it at that. Definitely a game I want to check out, and if enough people on my friends list kind of buy it, maybe I'll scoop it up, but we'll see where that kind of lands. And obviously, Mike Ibarra seems to be quite a fan of it, and he's been playing it a lot on his mixer. So, yeah, I mean, I like those kind of games, and so we'll see where it goes.
Okay. So we got to see Deep Rock, State of Decay 2. We saw Minecraft. We saw DBZ Fighter, which is really cool because we haven't seen that on the platform in quite some time. Well, on their E3 show, for sure. One I want to dive into real quick because I think it's an important one is Black Desert. Like, this is a crazy cool MMO on PC. It's a graphical masterpiece when you play it on PC, and it looks just as good on the Scorpio footage that we saw. So I'm super excited about that. How do you guys feel about like more MMOs coming onto the Xbox platform in general?
Surprise. I was actually I'm still waiting to see Terra kind of more explained because that was supposed to be coming to consoles too, but I don't know who's bringing it, so
they're still working on it then.
Yeah, it could be I don't know. It's interesting. But for MMOs, like, the only problem I have with MMOs on consoles are kind of those, like, the gaming system where a new game comes out, you play it, you beat it, you move on to the next one. You know, you play it, you beat it, you move on to the next one. It's a shooter, you go back when you're bored and you want to just shoot people in the head. But when it comes to MMOs, it's kind of something you have to dive into, and it's a long-lasting game. It's not a game that you just play for a few hours and then you're done. So I don't know, that just seems more PC, but maybe they're trying to branch out and change that. Like, that could be the only reason why it seems
Well, I think it
PC,
fits. I think Black Desert fits the console market because it's an action RPG where you only use a couple of buttons and it's like, you know, slash kind of thing. And you have some specials and stuff like that. So I think it fits a controller really well. And I think it even was built around like using controller support when the game was in development. So I think that lends itself really well to the ecosystem. Anybody else want to chime in on Black Desert before?
Plus, you don't get to customize characters, do you? No, we tried that. You don't get to actually. You have to pick what they give you.
I just want to say that right off the bat, within the first couple of seconds, I was blown away by the graphic fidelity of that game. It was amazing. I was like, man, this game looks like it will benefit by being played on the Xbox One X. So, no, I don't know much about it. I have seen like bits and pieces of video in the past of this game, and I'm kind of impressed that it is coming to Xbox. And yeah, MMOs, we don't have a ton of them, so that's always a cool thing. The more friends you can play with, the better. And like I said, something that has that kind of graphic fidelity is just amazing. So bring it on, man. I'm excited for that one.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it looks like a game that I would totally be into, but like SheWulf was saying, with an MMO, it's a game that you really have to devote a lot of time, your time towards. And, you know, 15 years ago, Magic Mike would have been all over this game. Today, Magic Mike has got a family and kids and a job and all that kind of stuff.
He got no time for that.
I mean, I would love to get into that. It looks like a phenomenal game, but realistically, I don't think I'm going to be picking it up.
Cool. Everybody in the chat, no Splinter Cell. I was kind of bummed out about that, but there's still Ubisoft tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yes,
we'll see what happens.
Still chance.
Still chance. All right, so then we saw like Code Vein, which is a really cool kind of like RPG Souls-like type of game, which looks right up my alley. Probably Mike's too. Then we went into Sea of Thieves. I wanted to touch on this a little bit because I love Sea of Thieves. I played the beta, but I thought the gameplay they showed was absolutely boring, and I think they took too much time. And I think they should have shown something.
Footage from last year.
Basically.
At least it looked like the same footage from last year. Like it really.
No,
it
wasn't
pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. Obviously, the game style and everything. But the way that they were describing certain things and the places that we're going, that was brand new.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I
liked it. I needed a video like that to keep me interested. If they would have showed me exactly what we saw last year, I would have probably already moved on and gone, nope.
Again, I'm
not into
sorry,
it.
but I think I'm still bent on the fact that like they're just inviting so many damn people. Everyone's gonna play it by the time that the game releases, and nobody's gonna care.
Breaking interruption, guys. Here's a good one. Going back to the OG Xbox, Albert Pinello just confirmed your original Xbox discs will work. Digital licenses will carry over, and you can system link play across all 3 generations.
Damn. Holy shit!
That's
There you
cool.
go.
Yo,
That's awesome.
they're
Shit,
taking
man.
back and pat to
surprised.
a new
So
level
how many,
for sure.
Not surprised.
Old Xboxes?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of cool like shooters and stuff. Like Mechasoul would be really cool
I
on
meant
mine.
like you. How many digitals did you have last time, or discs?
I didn't have any digitals, or I mean, I gotta look through all my discs to see what I have, but there was no digitals back then. It was all physical.
Physical.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just
No,
thought
no,
I'd
no,
point
that's
it
cool.
out while I was there.
Yeah, I just thought like the Sea of Thieves, like I don't know, like I kind of agree with SheWulf and I kind of agree with Fox where it wasn't technically the same gameplay that they showed, but it really wasn't like super interesting. It's like hey, you got on an island, you dug up a thing, and then you just ran away kind of thing. Like, where's the end game in this stuff? Like, if that's all I'm gonna do, I don't know about that. Like, I want to see like some boss
Yeah,
battles. I think that would have been
I
a
see what
very
you're
cool.
saying.
Something better to show off and get people excited than just running around a thing digging
Well,
up a
yeah.
chest.
Is there like a giant crocodile when you try to like get like certain treasure? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Something different would have been cool. But
Cool. So we saw a nice indie trailer thing of a bunch of. We saw like Path of Exiles, Ashen. We saw the new Life is Strange. I'll let Fox talk about that because she's super excited about it. Go ahead, Fox.
I can't wait. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Yeah, so I'm interested to see the backstory, some stuff related to Chloe and Rachel, and if you play the game, you'll know why. But I can't wait for August. I'm gonna fucking get that day one, obviously. So I think it's only 3 episodes though, so that's
Yep.
kind of surprising. I was expecting 5, like the other one, but either way, I don't care. I'm still gonna get it digitally and physically because I know they'll do a physical copy later on with like a soundtrack, and I'm there. I'm there. You got me. You got me. I am actually just as happy about Life is Strange that I am with Crackdown, and I'll go back to you guys for that one.
Sweet. Yeah, we can jump right into to Crackdown 3. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was interesting. I think me and Fox were thinking the same thing when we were watching it. It was like, hey, it looks like you're jumping into a comic book and having a crazy good time.
Hell yeah!
having Terry Crews as like
Oh,
the
the
starting,
opening?
that was
Oh, yeah.
perfect. Xbox, that was perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because he just fed into the hype and the not electricity, but the like
Excitement.
well, I was trying to
Yeah.
think of another word, but
yeah.
but yeah, excitement. Like it worked perfectly for what
He was
they
the
were trying to
perfect
do.
dude for that thing, for sure.
Yeah.
He's
He was all
perfect
up in
for,
your
like,
face.
Everything. I want him to be Coltrane in the friggin' new Gears
Yeah.
movie.
I just want to put out there, and hopefully Microsoft listens. Please put Terry Crews as a DLC character or something in the game.
Oh,
he needs
dude.
to be, needs to be in the game. He has to be.
That would be great.
Yeah.
What's up, Alan? Yeah, what did everybody else think about Crackdown 3? We didn't see any multiplayer this time.
No.
I'm
interesting.
happy with everything they showed. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Yeah, I like the art style on it, and I'm happy with the date. I mean, finally got a date for that game.
Yeah. wait to
So
play it.
yes, I can't wait. I'm gonna get it for sure.
It was day and date with Scorpio, or
Yep,
Xbox One
yep.
X. God, I'm going to say Scorpio like nonstop.
It's okay. It's okay.
Just say triple X.
Go ahead, Mike. I thought you were going to say something.
Triple X.
I mean, I don't have anything really to add to that. The game looks like a lot of fun. I mean, it looks like a chaotic, fun game to play. It doesn't look like something you're going to take seriously, which, you know, sometimes that's what you need from a game.
Yeah.
And,
Right?
I mean, yeah, day and date with the Xbox One X, that's going to be great. It's going to give you something to play on your system right away. And I wasn't too over-the-top excited about the gameplay they showed us. I didn't feel like they showed us anything new from the game, but they showed us that it's still like on track from what we'd seen in the past. Terry
It's on
Crews, he
track.
was the takeaway moment from that. Like, you know, like he made that part of the show for me.
Yeah,
For
you can
sure.
throw cars at somebody, dude.
Drop
You can
them
throw a
in.
freaking car. I'm in.
Right.
Right?
Now,
Man.
all fucking Xbox needs to do is secure the license to Terminator and bring out Arnold and be like, "Come on, let's do it. I'm going to kick your ass. Let's go." I thought it was great. Crackdown is looking amazing. Like, I just think it's going to be one of those games. Like, I don't know how much substance overall it's going to have, but I don't know. I just think of a big sandbox GTA where everything blows up. You
Mhm.
got these really badass characters, and they look fantastic with that stylized like comic book artwork. You know what I mean? It's hard to crap on a game that has stylized art, much like Sea of Thieves, and you know, and it looks like it's just going to be fun. I mean, if it's 4 players and it looks like it's 4-player co-op, that's huge. Like, especially
Absolutely.
with that much destruction and things going on screen. Like, I can definitely see like this being technically like the Microsoft version of like a Destiny, where people are just addicted to it, going in and doing whatever. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's one of those that could potentially slide on the radar, and it's just, maybe the last, I think the last ones kind of came out too before they really became big, before Xbox was, a huge success, so I think there's a lot of people that may go back and pick up the old games because of this. And yeah, I'm excited for it. It looks good. I think it'll be a day one purchase for me, guys.
Cool.
Speaking of the old games, I'm surprised they didn't say back compat right now or anything like that. That was a little bit disappointing.
Like Newf's thing he was talking about before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Would have made sense, right?
Yeah, it might be coming though. It might come. You never know.
Yeah.
There's still the Xbox daily shows and stuff. They might be dropping some more knowledge on us.
Yeah.
2 more games I want to talk about. That's Ori 2 and Anthem. Ori 2 looks absolutely stunning.
Beautiful.
I'm interested to see Ori and this new character that he's kind of standing next to. I'm thinking possibly 2-player couch co-op, getting through all these puzzles and crazy platforming. That sounds like a ton of fun.
Ori seems more like it could be online co-op. They are, they're kind of one of those games that I could see push it. It's obviously the baby bird from the mama bird from the first one.
So it's going to be probably around that story.
Because wasn't there an egg or something? Or no, there was a baby in there that she was trying to
Eggs or babies? I don't know.
No, it was a baby she was trying to protect, because then the whole thing, I'm not going to go into detail. So if you haven't played it, go play the first one. I literally did not tell you the details, but no, I didn't. I swear. I do love the monsters though, the new big guys. I don't know if you actually fight them. Well, obviously you don't fight them, but outrun them and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. I am curious though, what happened to all of the birds? Because when they went to a high shot, it was there's
a big fire
of the
there's a big fire and everything too in the first game and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But it looked amazing.
Feeding off of all
hey
that,
guys,
yeah.
I think I just figured out why Microsoft trademarked that S logo the other day. Now
I'm
looking at the Xbox One X picture, the promo pic of it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the X. It's a broken X. Unlike the X's in the Xbox name, it's a broken X, much like the broken S. So I have a funny feeling that going
I thought
forward,
Mike already said that broken S was with the S.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
they showed
Did
it.
he say that?
Yeah, they showed it when
They
they
showed
had the
it.
Oh,
two
okay.
consoles up on the side by
Oh, it was
side.
the
They
broken
had
S.
the X and the S, and it was
Oh, okay.
they were both
Alright.
broken.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I was gonna say it'll probably be on the boxes now, I guess, to differentiate. So
Yeah.
okay,
Exactly.
my bad. I didn't notice that he said that already, but
What'd you guys
I
think
thought I
about
was
Ori?
onto something there for a second. I thought I was smart. Sorry.
Yeah,
Don't
Aw,
sell yourself short.
Newfie.
it's all good. Yeah, no ninja gating, guys. We didn't get any ninja gating either. So we need more Ori gameplay. That's true. We should have saw more.
I would have liked to actually see gameplay
Yeah,
too.
yeah, that's a fair point.
But come on, it's Ori.
Ori number 1 was
Yes.
a fantastic gameplay.
Right.
I'm sold on Ori 2 already.
They're all
you
beautiful.
need
Even
is that
even the
freaking-
definitive edition.
Although that moment when they had the guy playing piano on stage, I was like, oh boy, we're gonna have more live music on stage. That's awesome.
Yeah, but Ori
Dark
it was
Targaryen.
suiting, so.
He's like, be warned, Ori is hard. Yes, absolutely, it is freaking
It
hard.
is. There's a
But
couple
that's why I
spots
love
I
it.
had to it's jumping puzzles. I hate jumping puzzles. I hate them. But this game is one that I always seem to go back and play because I love this game. But on the hard parts, I just have GKB do it. I do. I suck at jumping
No
puzzles.
shame. No,
No,
kidding.
I
It's
got
fine.
none.
Anybody else want to talk about Ori, and then we'll get into the last game and give our
No,
final
I should
thoughts.
probably jump into the last one.
All right, let's get into Anthem. I think this was another showstopper for me. It's definitely got that Destiny feel, and I think it's going to be a competitor to Destiny. Absolutely kills Destiny in just about every way graphically. I was like, holy shit, you're like Iron Man flying around in this fucking enormous, beautiful world, and
Hell
just
yeah.
Beautiful.
stuff going on, like rockets.
Yes.
Oh my god, it was so good. I
Like
can't wait for
huge
this game.
monsters and all kinds of crap. It was I think Newf said during the actual live show, this is what I wanted out of Mass Effect Andromeda. What they were showing
Absolutely.
us was just like, holy crap, why didn't you guys make Mass Effect before you made this? Why did
Exactly.
you hand it off to the B team? Come on.
That's actually Boogie had a tweet about that. He tweeted. He said, "This is like Mass Effect Andromeda should have been. That's what happens when you hand over your game to the B team or something like that."
Yep,
And then he
yep.
went back and apologized.
Yeah.
Damn.
But man, I'm super excited about this. It even had not to go to Horizon Zero Dawn, but the big giant robots and stuff too. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I'm excited to see what those are all involved
Yeah.
and need to be about.
Based on the
wanna
graphics
know-
I've seen in that game, this really looks like a title that will be best on the Xbox One X. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, it
Hell
looks
yeah.
like this will definitely benefit from the 4K textures,
Absolutely.
you know, the higher resolution, because you see the foliage and the amount of like environmental detail in this game is
The
some of the
effects.
best I think I've ever
Oh,
seen.
yeah.
The effects, the
Oh my
particle
God,
effects,
true.
the smoke, the everything, the lighting, it just looks fantastic. It's
Heck,
like, holy
even,
shit.
even at the beginning when he was talking to that one guy like in the marketplace, like just
His
the
face
level
and
of
yeah.
detail in that guy's face,
Yeah.
like his pores and everything, and the shadowing, and it was just like it was so much graphical goodness. I lost myself.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Rafael Gutierrez, that was this year's new IP game of the show. Absolutely, man. That thing is just phenomenal.
I just want to know more details.
Yeah.
Is it like how is the whole aspect of it going to come into play? Like, is it going to be more where you just take adventures with a couple of your friends and then that's it, or is it more of like a Destiny?
Well, they said
style
like world
game?
events
Like-
and stuff, and that
Well,
harks
that's
back to
why
Destiny
I'm
to me.
yeah, so this one I'm trying to like, is the start base where you were? Is that going to be like, your tower? Like, I want to know more. I want to understand what's
She wants the
actually.
details. Hey.
Yeah.
You want to
them
know, are you going to
details.
see other players in the world when you're playing on your
Yes,
own, or
like
do you have to bring them
Destiny.
into your game?
Yeah,
Yes, like
yeah.
Destiny. I'm okay with it if I can just have a 6-man team. I'm okay with that. I don't have to have.
That's another thing. Like, I like the pulling people in and out thing, where I don't have to go up to fucking space and then grab my team, then go back
just
down
pull
into
them
space.
down and-
So, I mean, even if it's that, like, you can play by yourself in, like, an instance world and then pull your friends in, you could pull up to, like, 6, that's fucking phenomenal, because on some of the content in Destiny and Destiny 2, you can only have up to 3 people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bummer. But it looks like they're doing it right with this game, so I can't wait.
We'll see. More details.
gotta
people,
see.
more details. But
Yeah.
again,
Yeah, more details, and that's coming out next year as well.
yeah.
Yep,
I
next
was
year.
just gonna say that
Fall game next year,
2018.
for sure.
I got you, girl. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That game right there makes me feel like if I get the new Xbox and the 4K TV, my eyes would just tear up for no reason. It looks like it
Nice.
will hurt my eyeballs. I'm just being honest.
Yep. GKB, $500 for how many terabytes? We don't know. We don't know. We'll have to
Yeah.
wait and see.
Mike, don't be going and saying that yet.
No,
We're gonna-
somebody else in the chat said that it was announced as a 1 terabyte model.
Okay, fair enough.
I haven't
I
seen
didn't
it,
see
but
any
that's-
announcements
that's what
anywhere.
Somebody else said.
I've only seen people taking
I'm hoping too.
guesses.
But we'll see. Yeah.
I think that will be the lowest it will come in. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that would be my prediction. I don't think they'll go lower than 1 terabyte, especially at the $4.99 price. They're
Yeah.
going to want to add some type of value as much as they can, right?
$4.99 at 1 terabyte, I'd kind of be like, I think you need to throw another terabyte in there for that kind of price. But
He was
that's just me.
Stark Targaryen. He said that on the Xbox website they have the Xbox One X as a 1 terabyte listing.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Interesting. All right, so I'm going to go around the whole panel. I want to get you guys' final thoughts on Microsoft's presser, E3 presser, and then we're going to go ahead and say our goodbyes, and then we're going to get ready for Bethesda later on tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and start with SheWulf.
First
SheWulf.
off, super happy Cuphead finally got a release date, and
Absolutely.
that we're going to see
Yay!
that soon, September, right? Was
Yep.
that one September? Yes,
September.
that one was
Yep.
September.
September
So,
29.
Super excited for that. Other than that, I actually give Microsoft probably like a 9 out of 10. I didn't like that they went into hardware talk about pretty much the same stuff we already knew. I think that was a little bit wasted on the show, but overall, I liked all the games that they just kept going one and two after
I like
another,
that
and
too.
they didn't stay on the indie reel long, and they didn't even stay on the Minecraft thing long. So I was actually pretty happy about their show.
Cool. Fox, you're up.
Oh my god, I completely agree with my homegirl. 9 out of 10 for sure. I loved it. Obviously, there were some things that were missing, but that's okay. Overall, I think it was a good show because they had different things, different types of games, a little bit of everything for everyone. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I felt like it was missing some stuff. I liked it overall though. Way better than EA, obviously, because
Absolutely.
they didn't talk that much, and EA talked way too fucking much, in my
Absolutely.
opinion.
And he came out and
Yes,
talked
I
too
loved
much in freaking Anthem. I'm like, bro, shut up. Just shoot
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I'm like, don't be
talks
bringing
too
your
much.
shit over
I
here.
know. Oh, God. They just can't stop talking.
Loved it. Overall, I loved it. I have 2 favorite games, obviously, Crackdown and Life is Strange, but a lot of other stuff I'm interested to see more about.
Absolutely. Newf, you're up, bro.
All right. Well, plain and simple, guys. I got to hand it to Microsoft. You know what we asked? They more or less delivered on every count. They brought out the games in spades. Okay, so that was the first thing right off the bat. The actual Xbox One X, man, I always have trouble saying that one. But the system looks amazing. It's so small. It looks fantastic. So I want to give them full marks on the design of the console. Price-wise, you know what? Like I said, I'm happy with the price. I'm just a little disappointed. I was hoping they were going to, like I said, drop the mic with the $399, just blow everybody away out of the auditorium. That didn't happen, but you still can't be disappointed. Honestly, if you're a logical gamer, the price was fine. Lots of people are still going to buy it. Either which way, they dropped the price on the Xbox One S2, which is totally affordable now. So if you're riding the fence, go get it yourself. An S to kind of tide you over until maybe the X drops down. So you can't really lose. Like I said, lots of games, 42, 22 all overall with some type of exclusivity, whether it's console exclusive or timed exclusive. They fucking just hit the nail on the head. Lots of new IPs, not a lot of like people saying the rehash trash. So yeah, there's so many reasons to get excited. Like I said, some small disappointments. I was hoping to see a little bit more, like you said, GK, with like a Splinter Cell deal, those sorts of things. It would have been cool if like people said Sega maybe had to come out on stage somewhere, stuff like that. But overall, Microsoft did what they said they were going to do, and that was bring Xbox gamers tons of freaking games, plus even OG Xbox games, for crying out loud. So Xbox, overall, guys, great freaking job, man. You guys are heading in the right direction, and we wish you all the best. That was fantastic. I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Cool. Mike, you're up.
I'm gonna buck the trend here. I like the show. I really did. I was really surprised with Metro. Anthem looks amazing. There were a lot of great games that they showed us. I didn't really get that drop the mic moment that I was hoping for. That there wasn't that like, oh shit, Microsoft just brought it, and I didn't expect that to happen.
Absolutely.
The Xbox One X, the price, it's not what I wanted. I'm all right with the price, but it's not like I'm gonna like go up on top of my roof and start shouting like, woo, yeah, it's. It's a fair price. I'm not trying to diminish it in any way, but I think overall I'm going to give the conference a 7.5 out of 10. It was a lot better than EA's. They brought the games. They definitely brought the games. There was again no moment where I felt like Microsoft just destroyed whatever anybody else is going to bring to the table.
Yeah.
So for that I can't go above a 7.5.
Cool. For me, I thought it was a good conference. I thought it was really solid. I was worried going into this that with the third-party marketing and all that kind of stuff that they wouldn't have a lot to show. They proved me wrong. They had definitely a lot of stuff, some really great surprises with Metro, Anthem, even Crackdown 3 looked phenomenal. Some of the indies I thought were fantastic, and I can't wait to play like Path of Exile and all that stuff on the console as well. I think when Phil came out and he said we had a variety of stuff to show you, he absolutely delivered on that. Had some great first parties. Again, I thought it was a really, really solid conference for Microsoft, better than last year's. I would even go as far as that. I give it a definite solid 8. I'm with you, Newf. They did do some things wrong, not enough release dates. I'm going to call them out on that because I call everybody else on that. And I think the price also was not. It's not a problem for me. Like, I'll buy it at that price, but I think overall, I think that was a ding for them. But a solid 8 from me. They did a really good job. So that's it, guys. That's our impressions. I'm gonna go ahead and let all these awesome people go ahead and shout out what they got going on. Again, we're doing Bethesda tonight. We're gonna do a pre-show, then watch the conference, and then we're out until tomorrow, guys. So yeah, just a heads up.
Remember, Bethesda's at 12 a.m. Eastern time, guys. So we are going to be up late. But we are putting on a show for you guys.
Absolutely. We do it for you.
Corner after dark.
That's right.
After dark.
And I promise no nudity, okay? At least not for me.
Awesome. SheWulf, what you got going on?
Oh, we're doing outros?
Yep.
Just pretty much going to be streaming all next week. Make sure you tune in to me on Xbox. You can find me everywhere with xSHEWULFx with you, not a no. But don't Google me.
Oh my gosh.
Long story. But anyways,
Hilarious.
you can find me on Twitter and all that. So
wow.
Follow me, and I will follow you back if you want.
Sweet. Fox.
What's up? Oh my god, awesome day. I'm happy with what I've seen, and I'm looking forward to Bethesda later. not for anything in particular. I just want to see what they got.
Yeah, me too.
But besides that, we'll be streaming tomorrow and the next day and the next. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're streaming it.
I'm not sick and tired of you guys yet, so this is a positive thing. But besides that, you guys can follow me on Twitter, of course. I will be, just sharing my thoughts on there. Instagram, I have some pictures on there, and of course YouTube for my streams from last week. I'm posting some of those recently. So yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching this now or later, bye.
Mike, go for it, bro.
Hey, you can find all my contact information down below. You've got my Twitter, my YouTube. Follow me, subscribe, go to my Mixer and follow me there. Going to be doing a lot of great stuff, especially once the 1X comes out in 4K and broadcasting and all that fun stuff. You can find me next at, in a little bit over less than 3 hours when we do our pre-show for Bethesda later on tonight. Tomorrow I'll be here for the Sony presser. I'm not going to be able to make the Ubisoft one because I'll still be at work. But I will be back here then again Tuesday for our regular Console Corner show where we recap everything that we've seen. It's so awesome. And then I think that once I've seen everything else that's going on, I may have to readjust some of my final scores, but I hope nobody hates on me for giving Microsoft the 7.5. That's where I'm at.
I think it's a fair score, bro.
It's all goddamn hate. You suck.
It's a fair score, bro.
You need to get a lock for that cabinet, man. I'm telling you.
You're officially kicked off the console corner.
Nice. What about you, Newf? What you got going on, brother?
Well, first off, guys, I want to say, first of all, again, thanks to all my fantastic crew, panel members here at Console Corner. Love you guys. You're fantastic, and I always enjoy being here on every show. That's first and foremost. Second of all, thanks everybody in the chat for hanging out here, and those who will watch the podcast later on. We hope that you enjoy it and hope you enjoy our input on what we've seen throughout the show. We do appreciate your feedback in the chat and all that good stuff. You guys, obviously podcasting would be pretty much useless if you didn't show up and support. So we appreciate that. The downside, guys, I'm just going to finish off and say the downside of all of this today is that there's going to be more press overall about the freaking price point than anything about the actual gaming. That is the saddest part, is that at the end of the day, people are going to miss the point here, and it's all about the game. So I just want to say I'll leave it at that. I liked the show. I thought it was great. Obviously, guys, you can find me on Mixer at, mixer.com/Newf Nukem, Newf Nukem on Xbox, Newf_Nukem on Xbox Live. I promise you, Cletus will have a wrap-up video coming next week when things are kind of over. So I'm excited to see what Cletus got to say about the whole thing. Maybe he'll give a couple of shows a 2 out of 10. Who knows? Not enough sheep riders in there. But, yeah, it's going to be a good time. It was a great time tonight, guys. Again, GKB and them have the links all down below, so go find me there. And, again, thanks so much. And we'll see you tonight for the Bethesda recap.
Yeah, I am GKB, a.k.a. The Governor. I want to thank the community as well. You guys have been fantastic, supporting the crap out of us this weekend. You guys have been loving the drive to work discussion and the vlogs I'm doing, so I'm going to continue to bust those out for you guys. It's always a blast. I had a crap ton on today's vlog, so that was a great time. You can find me on Gamers Knows Best on YouTube and Twitter. We're going to be on Bethesda, guys, so come hang out with us. We'll probably be tired and a little bit drunk, but we're going to do it for you guys. So.
Oh, yeah, I'm drinking.
Thanks again, guys. Thank you so much. Be kind to everybody and take care of your fellow gamers, and we'll see you next time.
Later.
Later, people.